Welcome to this video tutorial on creating automated measurements using the LsLab software on the DWS RheoLab from LS Instruments. This is the main window of the software. To create a protocol, choose the Manage Protocol tile. Click on Create, and on the left you will see a list of all available features for creating an automated measurement. Let's start by creating the simplest possible protocol. The software provides guidance on the crucial steps to achieve a functional protocol. So let's follow the hints given by the software. First, we need the Load Sample step. You can either drag and drop this function into the protocol creator or use the arrow buttons. Name your sample. Choose the cell thickness you are working with. You can also modify the solvent if you use a solvent that is different from water, which is chosen by default. We recommend leaving the Ask for Confirmation option checked, so you will be asked to confirm that the sample is loaded whenever you run the protocol. Next, we will add a temperature step. Define the temperature at which you want to run the measurement. We recommend enabling the Wait for Steady State by default. It means that the measurement will not start before the sample chamber has reached steady state for the chosen measurement temperature. If you want to speed up your measurement, you can select Low for accuracy. The measurement will start once the temperature is close to the target. Finally, we need a measurement step. You can either choose Start DWS measurement or a Start Sizing measurement, depending on the characterization you want to perform. We will show here a DWS measurement. Define the duration of your DWS measurement. Define a duration for your echo measurement, and you define the number of repetitions. Let's say 7. You can also define the measurement geometry. For a DWS measurement, we choose transmission. We also recommend to have the L/L start check always enabled. The instrument will check if the turbidity is in the correct range before every measurement. After naming your protocol, click Save. You see a more compact view of the automated measurement you have created. To run the protocol, exit the Protocol Manager and enter the Run Protocol tile. You will find all the predefined protocols in the list on the left, including our demo protocol. Give a name to your experiment. Choose the protocol you want to run, load your sample, and click Start. Now, let's return to the Manage Protocol tile and create a more sophisticated protocol. Let's say we want to run a protocol that allows measurements at different temperatures. The instrument will go to the chosen temperature, wait until it is reached, and run a measurement before either heating or cooling to the next given temperature. To do this, we will need to create a loop. You can either create a completely new protocol to achieve this or modify the existing one. If you choose to modify, the originally created protocol will be changed and overwritten after saving. So let's proceed by modifying the existing protocol. Click on Modify to continue. To measure at various well-defined temperatures, we will use an incremental loop that lets us define a start value and an end value and a step size or increment. You can choose whether you want to heat or cool your sample by setting the start value higher or lower than the end value. Let's define a high temperature as start value, meaning that we will cool down our sample. Let's say 60 degrees. And we want to cool down to 20 degrees. We want to measure in steps of 5 degrees Celsius. Last, we need to define a name for our loop. Let's call it temperature ramp. Since we want the loop to be linked to temperature, we will need to include the temperature step in our loop. You can achieve this by drag and dropping the temperature function inside the loop. Again, we leave the wait for steady state enabled. Next, we also need to include the measurement function in our loop after the temperature function, as we want to have a measurement run after every temperature step. Use the arrow buttons to get the measurement function to the right position in the loop and the overall measurement. All functions framed in light blue are part of the loop. All functions outside the loop are spaced by the white background. Now we still need to link our temperature to our loop. For this, we need to click on this linking tool and link it to the loop that we have named here. Sometimes, in addition to having steady temperature in the sample chamber, it is also important to wait for the sample to achieve physical or chemical equilibrium. To achieve this, you can include a wait function before the measurement step. You can now define a waiting time before the measurement will be started. So let's define a waiting time of, for example, 5 minutes. Again, we recommend having the L/L star checked, always enabled. The turbidity is automatically checked by the instrument before starting any measurement. You can disable the L/L star check to prevent the protocol from stopping if the turbidity is out of range, but be aware that results might be less accurate if the turbidity is wrong. After saving the protocol, you will see your created protocol again in a more compact view. You can make sure everything is correctly defined and if all the functions that need to be inside of the loop are actually part of the loop. All functions outside the loop will be spaced by the white background, while all functions within the loop will have a blue background. The loop shows that the sample will be cooled from 60 degrees Celsius down to 20 in increments of 5 degrees Celsius. It will wait for 5 minutes after the temperature is reached before starting the measurement, and then again the temperature will be changed. Now let's go even one step further and make a flexible protocol. Suppose you want to run a temperature ramp, but you want to define the start and the end value as well as the increment size just before running the protocol without the necessity to modify the originally created protocol. In this case, we will need to define runtime parameters. To achieve this, you can again either create a new protocol or clone a previously created protocol and modify it. By cloning your protocol, you can modify it without overwriting the original. You will be asked to save the cloned protocol under a new name, preserving the original protocol in the list. So let's give it a new name. Let's call it Protocol Flexible. Click OK. We want to define the start temperature only before the measurement is run. So we click here on the runtime user parameters. Click plus, and you give a name to your user parameter. Let's call it temperature initial. It will be a numeric value, so we choose numeric. You can define a minimum and a maximum value within the specifications of the instrument, but it is optional, so we can just leave it empty here. Click OK. We also want to define the end temperature. Let's call it temperature final. Again, it is a numeric feature. Let's define a minimum and a maximum value at this time. So we will give it a minimum of 20 degrees and a maximum of 60. We click OK. We might also want to define the increment size, so let's do that too. Let's call it increment. Again, it is a numeric feature. Why not create a default value increment size of 5 degrees Celsius? Click OK. Now that we have defined the runtime parameters, we need to link them. For this, we will use again this linking tile. So we will link the start value to the temperature initial, we will link the end value to the temperature final, and we will link the step to increment. Our loop is already named. You can either leave that name or change it. In this case, we want to change the temperature as defined in our loop. So we link the temperature to our loop called temperature ramp. Perfect. We will enable the wait for steady state. This time we will remove the waiting step and have the measurement proceed directly after the sample chamber has achieved steady state. The duration of the measurement might also be a runtime parameter you would like to define. Again, it will be a numeric feature. Give it a name. Click OK, and don't forget to link it. We could do the same for all other parameters, such as the duration of the echo measurement or the number of repetitions, but I think you will get the gist now. Something more specific happens when you have a drop-down menu. So let's link the measurement geometry. We will call it geometry. And the parameter type will in this case not be numeric, but you have, especially when drop-down menus are given by the software, you will find it in the list here. So choose measurement geometry. In this case, you can also define a default value, so let's choose transmission by default. Do not forget to link it. Something also interesting, especially when you want to use the same protocol for different samples, is to create a runtime parameter for the sample information. It is the first one to appear as parameter type. So we just need to name it. Let's call it sample info. Click OK and link the sample info. Let's click Save and look what we have done. On the right, you see the parameters that you have defined, and you will also see where they have been defined. You can check if all necessary functions are contained inside the loop. And then let's run this protocol. Let's return to the Run a Protocol tile. We can choose our flexible protocol in the list of protocols and give a name to our experiment. Let's call it Demo. We now have to define all the different parameters that we have linked to the runtime parameters. Let's start with the initial temperature. Let's choose to heat up our sample this time, so we will start with a lower temperature, let's say room temperature. We also need to define our final temperature. In this case, we have defined a minimum and a maximum value. The software will not allow us to define a temperature outside this range. So let's say 60. The increment size, you can either leave the default value or change it. But let's leave the default value here. You can also choose the duration time, let's say 60 seconds. And also our geometry is chosen by default. Finally, we are left with the sample information. You need to give your sample a name, choose the cell thickness you are working with. Also, always look out for these red borders or messages given by the software. They hint that something is not defined yet that is necessary for the protocol to become functional. Let the turbidity be checked automatically by the software. And now, once that we have defined all necessary parameters, we are ready and can click Start. This concludes the video on creating automated measurements of different complexity intuitively and straightforwardly using the Manage Protocol tool of the LsLab software. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our support team. Thanks for watching.